UN. And I think it's not about reinventing the wheel, I imagine, because there are a number of other UN institutions that does work with women, because who doesn't work with women? More than half of the population of the world. It's probably not in our face, the work and the needs of women all the time, to the extent that it has to be. But one of the things that I'm hoping I will be able to do is also to harness the goodwill and the concern that already exists, whether you're thinking of WHO, you're thinking about UNICEF, and some of those that are not visibly women-oriented like UNIDO. That, however, I think have a lot to do, for instance, when it comes into women's economic empowerment.
Have you had a handover session with your predecessor, Michelle Bachelet, and or are you at least aware of the priority areas that you think were important to her, that you have identified as something to continue with? I know one of the things that she was talking about is a quota system, especially in terms of political representations, that she wants to see all countries adopt that.
Yes, I haven't spoken to her, but I will be speaking to her before assuming the job, and I'm even hoping that probably there will be an opportunity for a face-to-face meeting, but there is an interim acting person that Lakshmi, that we've been speaking regularly, and there is a strategic plan for the division. So it has set priority areas. They include leadership and participation, which Michelle was also very concerned about. Hence the quotas that she was talking about. Economic empowerment is another focus area. Peace, including fighting violence against women, is another priority area. Gendered planning and budgeting in countries is another area, and the MDGs, which then takes on the issues of poverty, reproductive health. The area which for me is understated, which I would love to be able to push forward, is education, and girls' education in particular, and take advantage of the fact that there's a race to 2015 on the MDGs, and access to education universally for girl children, for boys and girls, I suppose, but I suppose my angle will be girl children, is something that I want to ride on this low-hanging fruit, so to say, because everybody is anxious that we achieve as much as possible in the remaining time.
We're going to take calls in just a moment, but I'd like to just look at that. Why, in your mind, is educating the girl child important? I mean, there are all sorts of analogies about why this is important. Educate a woman, you educate a community, a nation. But why is it important for you?
Well, just if you think of the number of people who are unemployed in any society, the majority of the people who will be unemployed will be those who have less education and lower quality education. Because it's not just about education, it's also about quality. But being in school is a start. If you now think of the number of girls who fall pregnant and are unable to take care of their babies, education plays a role. Girls stay longer at school take longer to get pregnant if they are at school. And when we think about HIV and AIDS infections, girls who are in school are safer than those who are out of schools. And poverty just is part of what impacts on those who have no education. So when we're thinking about girls reaching their full potential, making a difference, looking after their communities, and ensuring that the next generation within their own families, within their own communities, are better off. Education is the best assets that we could give to them.
One of the things you touched in, which we'll discuss after the break and when we take the calls, is that issue of reproductive rights. And I know that's a huge thing, especially for the African Women's Protocol. But we are taking calls 0891 104 208. Do call us on this number if you have a question for Phumzile Mlambo Ngcuka, who is the head of UN Women. 0891 104 208. We are available on SMS as well. 34701. That's the SMS hotline, R2 per SMS. Tweet us on @AMLive on SAFM, our Twitter handle @AMLive on SAFM, and our email address is amlive@sabc.co.za.
The Durban International Film Festival takes over Durban in July from the 18th to the 28th, with more than 170 films and over 300 screenings in 11 venues across the city, offering the best in cinema from around the world, as well as a feast of workshops, seminars and masterclasses for aspiring and professional filmmakers. Join me, Subimboya, with other local and international stars for South Africa's biggest film festival. For more information, go to durbanfilmfest.co.za. The festival is principally supported by the National Lottery Distribution Trust Fund.
Join me, Hilton Tarrant, every weeknight at 6 for the SAFM Market Update with MoneyWeb, with breaking business news, expert analysis, investment insights, and the story behind the story. We're helping you make sense of the markets and your money. That's the Market Update, weeknights right here on SAFM at 6.
Tax season is open, and we're hitting the streets to see how South Africans prefer to file their tax returns.
E-filing is easy.
Because the e-filing is really basic. It's just a couple of clicks.
Computerizing makes it easier for us. My friend has introduced me to e-filing.
I use e-filing. Yes.
E-filing is the best. It takes quick.
Definitely on e-filing. Definitely.
Tax season is open, and more South Africans are choosing to e-file their returns because it's fast, easy, and convenient. If they can do it, you can do it. Visit sarsefiling.co.za for more information. SARS, at your service.
I would like to encourage everyone to do something worthy for someone else on Mandela Day.
We have all equally been awed by his dedication to others.
He inspires people across the world and across the generations.
You're an example to us all of perseverance, forgiveness, strength, wisdom and grace.
Mandela Day reminds us that we all have a little bit of Mandela in ourselves.
I will also be giving my 67 minutes.
I would like to express my admiration about the great man, Nelson Mandela.
Please, on the 18th of July, let's stand together. Give 67 minutes of your time to do what you can.
Take action. Inspire change.
The Forum at 8 on SAFM.
25 minutes past 8, we continue our conversation with former Deputy President Phumzile Mlambo Ngcuka, who is now head of the United Nations Entity for Gender Equality and Empowerment of Women, UN Women. Do give us a call. Perhaps you have a question for her, 0891 104 208. Let's get to the callers. And I'm going to appeal to you all. I'm sure that there are a lot of people who want to come behind you and ask questions, just so that we can spread the time between the callers. To be as brief as possible. Gift in Port Elizabeth, a very good morning to you. You want to talk about gender transformation.
Yes, hi Tsepiso, and hi to Mrs. Mlambo Ngcuka. You know, I must say that this country is fortunate to have dynamic and powerful women like Mlambo Ngcuka. Some of us who don't normally acknowledge and appreciate, and I think that's the first issue that I want to raise. But the last issue that I want to raise with your guest, you know, I must say that your appointment will reaffirm our view that the struggle for gender equality has always been part and parcel, though not a byproduct of the struggle for national liberation in this country. And the last issue, and I hope that in your endeavors, since you are in that portfolio, 3 issues that I think you have to focus on, which to me has also been the objective of the women's movement in this country, among others.
Be brief.
Yes, I think you must focus on the breakdown of patriarchy as a system which is based and reinforcing the ideology, practices, values, culture, stereotypes, and all the manifestations of the unequal power relations between women and men. I think if you focus on that one, you will succeed.
All right, thanks a lot, Gift. Again, I'd appeal to the corners, please be as brief as possible. There are so many calls coming through and SMSs. We'd like to give everybody a chance. Mvuswe Kaya and Pisho. You wanted to focus on Africa first.
Ladies.
Good morning, Mvuswe Kaya.
Who dropped the cup of coffee there? So I heard a cup dropping on the phone.
I think we heard that you were on the line.
Look, I just want to say congratulations to Mama Mlambo Ngcuka on her appointment. 2 things that I want to suggest. One, that she should put Africa first, Africa and underdeveloped countries, so that we close the geo-economic gap with other countries. The last thing I want to suggest is that she must not be like Mampele Rampele, who, when she went to these multinationals, she was consumed by them and did not put African interests as a priority. Good luck.
Thanks, Mvuso Ekaya.
Thanks.
Phumzile Mlambo, you want to talk about abuse against women?
Yes, hi, Sipiso.
Hi, Phumzile.
Congratulations to Madam Ngcuka.
Thank you.
I wonder if she can help me out. About a year and a half ago, I laid a complaint with the South African Human Rights Commission and the Commission for Gender Equality about a verse in the Quran that stated that in the event of a domestic dispute, a Muslim man has a God-given right to beat up his wife. There was a decision against me by the Human Rights Commission and the Gender Commission. I've appealed against that decision, but the Human Rights Commission and the Gender Commission are refusing to hear my appeal. Is the office of the United Nations, can they help me out in this particular regard?
Okay,
Will
thanks,
they be able to interact?
Frank Talk in Mangaung, you want to congratulate her.
Quick one, the former Deputy President. Congratulations to you. Those of us who have witnessed you working as a Deputy President and as a Deputy Minister are confident that the work ethic is the one that got you there. And we are happy as Africans. We are happy that it just come after Nkosazana Zuma has just been appointed. All the best. Fly the flag high.
Thank you.
Perhaps if I could just get you to answer one or two of the issues that have been raised. Gift speaking about the fight against the emancipation of women being linked somehow to the struggle for national identity. I think you yourself have said something about that. You were part of an organization in the UDF. Basically twinning those two struggles. So you would agree with that sentiment?
Definitely. And I think even before I became a part of the UDF and the Natal Organization of Women, which was an affiliate of UDF, I think my own exposure to race, gender and class started as a teenager in a little not so vibrant organization at the YWCA, which dealt with the issues of race because we were black, of class because we were from poor community, and then and gender because we were women. So one was thrust into the triple oppression struggle right from the word go, and I've never known the struggle to be any other way. By the time I was engaging in anti-apartheid struggle, that approach was already entrenched in me, and I'm so thankful for that balance and outlook. And therefore, fighting patriarchy just comes natural to some extent. But I would like to say and mobilize people like Gift to enlightened men that fighting patriarchy has to be done with men as well, against men and women who also embrace patriarchy, but with men. So we need to broaden the foot soldiers for gender equity, and we need men to be amongst the leading cadres in ensuring
that's
that
a very
we break down,
important and interesting point. Women who embrace but also enforce patriarchy.
Yeah. And our challenge also as mothers is to make sure that we start fighting patriarchy as soon as our babies are born. In the same way that when our babies are born, we worry about immunization, about getting them baptized. And I think that there's got to be a way in which fighting for gender equity in our minds and in the manner in which we social is up there for both our little girls and our little boys.
I was just looking at a report just saying that, for instance, the resurgence of female genital mutilation within communities under attack is one of the manifestations of carrying out that patriarchal system, but also, continuing the subjugation, abuse, and exploitation of women. And I also find it interesting that, for instance, one of the